Greetings and good morning, everybody. It's your host, Tristan Jerkovich, for another reaction. So, something interesting happened last night. I came home from work and saw that Nintendo held a mini press conference to showcase the Wii and its many functionalities. Let's skip all this intro stuff and just get right down to it. Press conference thing was about half an hour long. President of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata, talked about the Wii U, and while I like that he can speak English and he'll come on stage for the various press conferences and stuff and he'll talk. I just don't like the fact that he just gives very dry, short responses because English is not his native language, and this entire thing is his voice for 30 minutes, and it feels very stale. That's just a small problem right from the get-go. I'm not saying that he sounded weird or anything like that, but just it was very breathy and just not very entertaining at all. It was just kind of by the facts, and some of the things he talked about was actually pretty exciting, but he just checked it off like a bulleted list, basically. Anyway, that aside, let's get right down to it. So, the controller. Basically, they decided to call that big, huge touchscreen thing, the GamePad, which is modeled after the NES GamePad, which is what it was called because of the flat surface and whatnot. They also showed off that from the prototype, it's been changed. Primarily, the biggest change is basically some of the button layout and stuff like that, but the joysticks on top have been changed from the slider, reminiscent of the 3DS's little slider analog stick, and actual little like thumbsticks, like a Xbox 360 or a PS3 controller would have. And then as for the other buttons, they showed off a button on the side that lets you basically scan items into the device. Now, they didn't go into what that'll have to do with any kind of game or anything like that, but it's probably going to be like the Skylanders little pod thing that they have. They also said that all Wii controllers will be compatible, like the Nunchuck and just the Wiimote. And also there's going to be a Wii U Pro Controller that basically looks like the Pro Controller from the Wii U for the classic games and whatnot. So they did all that with the controller and whatnot and talked about some of the things that they already talked about before, like you can draw on it and whatnot. But yeah, and then they said, like, oh, you know how you think about videos and games? Well, here's something that you may not think about with videos and games. And then they showed off this terrible, terrible skit to demonstrate some of the things of Wii U before talking about it. And to my knowledge, these actors are no one that I know about, nor do I care. Nor after watching this will I care, because they were terrible actors. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people think that video gaming is dumb and just kind of cheesy and corny, is because of the skit. It wasn't funny, it wasn't demonstrational at all, it was kind of like very high schooly. So I guess if for kids maybe they'll like it, maybe I'm just a hater, I don't know. Anyway, so the guy was playing the zombie game and he couldn't figure it out. So he said, let me go to the network to see what other people think. So they demonstrated that you can go online while playing the game to see what other people have to say about this certain boss he was in. He still couldn't figure it out, so he actually did a video chat with an old guy. Again, a dumb sketch, but yes. So video, like a Skype thing, is available on this thing. Now, how all these things work was not discussed, but again, the couple of teases were in there. Also, he was holding a black Wii U controller, and throughout the entire press conference, Iwata never went back to that. So, is the black Wii controller just a super tease for later stuff, or is there actually going to be a black Wii U and a white Wii U at launch?
Call me Grandpa.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Says the guy who talks to an action figure.
Dumb skit aside, Iwata further went on to basically discuss the things that happened in the video by introducing the Miiverse, which is this combination of Miis, little characters you create, and universe. Anyway, it's basically like a new way to communicate with all your friends. When you turn your Wii U on, you can see all your friends, and even not your friends, but just kind of a global scale of what they're doing. So let's say that you're playing a Mario game, and then your friends will be maybe gathered around that icon, and then other people from around the world will be gathered on the icon, and then there's like maybe 10 other video games being played right now, and there's various people gathered around that. Anyway, it's kind of cool to see kind of what everyone around the globe is kind of playing. It'd be kind of funny to see like a really crappy game and one person playing it. It's just kind of a cool thing, and also being able to have kind of chat functionality while you're playing, kind of like an instant messaging thing. So even if you're not playing a multiplayer game, you can talk about like, oh hey, I reached this part in the Mario game. Like, where did you get to? Like, oh, I'm here, and stuff like that. So you could play a game back to back. So actually, this was a pretty cool feature, I'd have to say, to bring up Mario again with a tease of a Mario game, and on the world map it showed some little Mii characters popping up and saying little certain hints and stuff. So that was again a subtle way to tease the Mario and to also show off the capabilities of an in-game thing. So Iwata also said you can take images and videos of the games you're playing, which none of the systems do right now, which is pretty cool, and it would help a lot of people be able to easily share videos from their PlayStations. Not much else big was revealed. The one thing that I'm very, very disappointed about is he said that, well, right in the beginning, he said this, the press conference is going to focus a lot on the Wii U on Tuesday. And then he went on to talk about all this stuff. At the end, he said the same exact thing, but basically narrowed it down to, yeah, we're not going to talk about the 3DS at all. He said we're going to focus on Wii U games. There will be other opportunities to talk about 3DS games down the line. Does he mean this week, next week, or way further down the line? Come on, Nintendo. This is a system that has struggled, and you had to lower it $80 only a couple months after launch, and now you're going to say, we're just going to show off Wii U games to get people excited and forget about the 3DS. That is a huge mistake. I can see why, as I now know that the conference is only going to be an hour, and so there's not much time to show off a little of each. It's very frustrating to me, especially because a lot of my predictions aren't going to come true because a lot of them had to do with the 3DS. But maybe this was just a subtle tease, and maybe it actually will be an online event like this to show off the 3DS. I mean, he never said no. So either way, I guess we'll have to see on Tuesday.
Thanks again.
Thanks for joining me, and be sure to check out my stuff all week on the Examiner, and I will be posting videos on the YouTube as well. I hope you're looking forward to it.